Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone, wherever you are. Let me start by, as always, thanking you for being here. Either you're watching this platform demo live or you will be watching the replay. I greatly appreciate you being here and giving me some of your time. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, what is this live about? It's about showing you and explaining you what Beyond Satisfaction Academy is about, and of course, showing you the platform. So the event's going to be very simple. I'm going to introduce a little bit the platform, and then we're going to navigate together the platform itself, seeing the different tools, the different functionalities, materials, included the different features. We're going to go through specific modules, and then we're going to see as well what the content is about and how the course and the modules are designed and how it works as well. Let me start by introducing myself. For those who don't know me, I'm Pierre. I'm the founder of Beyond Satisfaction Academy and Training. The first one is the platform I'm going to show you today. The second one is Beyond Satisfaction Training, is what I've started my business with: in-person customer service training, leadership training, communication training, train the trainer courses. My background is mostly hospitality, over 15 years, mostly in luxury hotels and five-star establishments through various different roles in different places in the world, in the UK, in France, in US, and China, in charge of a lot of team members, of delivering on a very large scale great and consistent customer service. So training and development has been part of my story since the start of my career. I still went through all the specific accreditation qualifications in order to train successfully before and when I started my business 5 years ago. And a lot of the content that's been built has been built through this experience, through those accreditation, through those research I've made, but also through all those 5 years of deliveries. If a trainer ever tells you that only the audience is learning from the trainer in a training room, that person's lying, or that person forget a huge aspect of training, is that you do learn indeed from your audience. And I keep learning every day because I keep being challenged by my audience on a regular basis on new things, new experiences that they share with me, new situations that they would like me to help them with. And a lot of that content is coming from that. Not only the experience, not only the expertise, not only the accreditations, not only the background, but also the deliveries themselves. And that's how you keep the content up on the top of its game, if I could say. The platform itself, Beyond Satisfaction Academy. So it's an onboarding and training platform for hospitality. So like I've just mentioned, it's not only a training platform, it's also a platform for onboarding. So it's very simple. It has almost 30 modules in total, up to 12 modules added a year. So by the end of 2026, it's going to be almost 40 modules included in the platform. There are specific modules. So there are specific modules for the upskilling, which is upskilling current employees, but there are also specific modules that are with topics carefully selected in order to onboard new employees, which is by far, in terms of learning and development, a key focus when it comes to hospitality employees, either frontline or not. The way it works is very simple, with one membership for the company, the chain, the property. You give access to all the employees. They can create their accounts in less than a minute. The person in charge, either from HR, either head of learning and development, or several people, will be selected as admin within the school that will be allocated to them only, where they can monitor the team's progression, communicate accordingly, allocate specific modules, and monitor the team's improvement and how do they go along with each modules. As individuals, it can be split as well with different user groups between, for example, the front of line staff and the back of house and office staff, because some modules would be more accurate to some team members and others. So you can split it this way to monitor accordingly. A question that I believe many people may want to maybe wondering, and that I like to answer as well, actually, probably that's the primary reason. Why Beyond Satisfaction Academy? And I always answer it in a very simple way. To make online training, to make the digital version of training as impactful, personalized, engaging, and making as much of a long-term impact as in-person training. And we know how the realities are. Most part of the time, it's very hard to gather team members on a regular basis for them to be trained consistently on all those key topics that matter. So the digital version will be used a lot in order to solve that. But on top of this, even if you are able to deliver in-person training, you're never going to be able to do it as consistently and as regularly as you want to do it. And when it comes to going for that digital option instead, most part of the time, not all the time, but very often, the training is either basic, generic, a tick box exercise, or only related to compliances. And that was the main pain point I wanted to answer. How to make impactful, engaging, and personalized training accessible and available for all hospitality teams at all times. So quality plus training is not anymore a one-off. And that training that is currently constantly available for them is not that generic content or that tick box exercise content. Join both forces together into one approach, making impactful training, engaging training, personalized training available to all. Now, you could argue and tell me digital training, as engaging, impactful, and personalized as it is, will never be as impactful, as engaging, and as personalized as in person training. And you probably be right. You would probably be right because, yes, the fact you have a trainer in the room will never fully replace the fact that you have a trainer in the room is never replaceable fully. However, I will argue that it's better to have very strong quality content delivered digitally if tailored, structured, and built the right way than having one off course or 2 to 3 courses a year and you're just focusing on that image part of the iceberg and the training is not consistent because you can have the most impactful course delivered in person if it's only delivered a couple of times a year for a few topics is never going to have the impact you're expecting. And we know how it is in hospitality. We know how the time constraints are, how the requirements are, how much the teams, either front of line or back of house and offices, need to align themselves to the customers, to the requirements of the industry. So this is why it's important to really have something that could solve those pain points and could make quality training available to all at all times. And I would argue as well on the fact that yes, you cannot replace a person being physically in a room, but I've been training for many years and probably that physical presence in a room is 1 out of 10 key factors in order to make a course impactful, engaging, personalized, and making that long term impact. It's about the structure. It's about the personalization in terms of their specific examples, the specific situations they face, about the specific takeaways they write down themselves on the things they want to stop, start, and continue, how they are being assessed and how they are being monitored throughout the completion of a course, the specific activities and role plays that they have to do throughout the course completion. And again, how the content itself is built in a way that is inspiring them, engaging them, making them want to go from the I have to do it to the I want to do it. But also from what you do post delivery. Because again, even if an in person course is very engaging, delivered by an expert trainer, only 30% of the impact is happening while being delivered. 70% is from what is done post completion. So suddenly, when you bring all those factors in, you realize that it's much more about the structure, is much more about the way you build the course and the specific assignments, activities, the specific takeaways that each users and attendees have been written down on the things they would like to have been writing down, sorry, on the things they would like to stop, start, and continue doing. So it makes that long-term impact. This is a lot about the structure, and this is exactly what I've been working very hard in building with my platform. Let me now share my screen. So I'm going to start to show you a little bit of some of the pain points it solves, that additional ones that we're going to cover very quickly, and then some of the content itself included. I'm not going to show all the content, but some of the main modules out of the 25 to 30 modules. I'm currently building 2 more that are included in the platform. And then we're going to explore the platform itself. So let me just share my screen with you. So in terms of the impact it makes, so of course it's going to improve the onboarding performance. You're going to have a higher retention across all departments. It's going to increase productivity. You're going to have, of course, a higher guest satisfaction and loyalty thanks to more consistent and confident service, because a lot of the modules included are about customer service, but not only. You're going to have a faster and clearer return on training investment with ready-made and trackable modules and platform. Like I said, you will be able to track in a very simple way the team's progression, allocate modules to your team, and really be in charge with just one platform, which is not only about training and onboarding, but is also about managing the team's performance by monitoring their progression. You'll be able to be doing all this into one platform. Of course, most part of the time when you scale up, when you want to, the number one difficulty when it comes to consistency is not only to deliver training on a consistent basis, but is also when you start growing or you want some specific training to be delivered to more people, to more property, to more hotels, to more restaurants. With a platform like this, you can simply scale your quality-led training across all properties while keeping productivity and service high. You will have an improved ability, your team will have an improved ability to spot, prevent, and solve internal issues in a proactive way. You'll have an increased employee satisfaction, loyalty, and commitment to your brand standards and values. And of course, you will have a higher employee retention. Let me stop with this. I've talked enough about the impact and the pain points it solves. So now we're just going to cover very quickly some of the modules included. So this is some of the onboarding modules. You have a lot related to customer service. You have specific, again, those modules, you will have similar modules that are included in the upskilling ones, but they are different. The topics are the same, but they are designed differently because those ones are specifically focusing on onboarding. And actually, once they've passed their probation period, this is where they can complete the upskilling modules and complete those similar topics that are going much more in depth or are covering different areas of expertise within a topic. So you have core foundations of team working, effective and impactful communication, tips and methods to successfully getting started into your new role, continuous improvement and performance management, and some specific customer service topics. These are just some of them, and this is some of the upskilling modules. You have some, again, modules on customer service about becoming a true master of objections handling, mastering proactiveness through all interactions, complaints handling. You also have courageous conversations with your teams and colleagues. You have a lot of different leadership and management modules, such as the core foundations of impactful leadership, train the trainer modules, number 13, successfully implementing a culture of performance management, but also about managing your own performance as an employee, be on top of your own performance by consistently aiming for continuous improvement, and some conflict management and blaming, standing against blaming cultures topics. Again, these are just some of the topics that I just wanted to highlight very briefly. And now I think it's time to explore the platform itself. So let's go. So what I've done, I've made it very simply. All the windows are open, so I don't take too much of your time, and it's much more easy to navigate the platform. So this is the home page of the platform that either yourself or all your user will be able to see. There, to set up is very easy. You just have to put your name, email address. You'll be given to yourself and all your employees a user code, and then they can sign up in less than 2 minutes. If they want to log in, then it's going to be directly registered and they can log in here. So this is the home page that everybody can access, explaining what the platform is about. But that's the home page after you logged in. So that's why you will see things such as here, the modules category and how much has been completed. If once you sign up, this is the after login page. You will have a summary of what's been completed. You will have an introduction video. Let me just cut the sound. So this is the introduction video explaining what the platform is about. Done by me, as you can see, explaining what the platform is about, how to use it, etc., etc. But you can also download the user guideline. You can download the Word or PDF version of the user notebook if you want to take note as a user manually or virtually. You'll have the modules included there. Again, the modules categories, some feedback. You'll have monthly articles. You have monthly articles included there that are changed monthly for the users to explore on top of the modules. So as you can see, you also have the About Us page. This is an explanation of what Beyond Satisfaction Academy is about and a little bit about me. You'll have some explanation about the platform again. So you can select directly the module categories there. Let's say if you click on onboarding modules, you'll arrive to that page here. Again, that will be a summary of the different modules included into that module category, but you can also access directly here the upskilling module. So let's say we're going to explore module number 3 about customer service. You can see also, by the way, the completion directly on the modules categories. You can come and go. It will be saved automatically. The same, you can leave a module with just clicking the X. It will be saved automatically, and you will have the module progression saved there for you to monitor as a user yourself. And like I say, if you're an admin, if you want to monitor for everybody, it will be a different screen where you can monitor the team progression per individuals. It will all be categorized into different user groups based on how you would like to have it. And this will be done from my end very easily. So this is the, once you click, let's say, to module number 3, this is the home page of the module. Again, a summary of the module itself, explaining a little bit what is included, explaining what the module is about with an introduction. You'll have a full summary and diary of the module itself and what you will be going through in the module. And then you can just click over there, continue or start, and you will be able to access the module. So this is when you click continue, you will see that again, you have all that diary. So this is when you are inside the module. You'll have all the diary and menu on the left. By the way, this platform is also available not only on desktop, but on tablets and on mobile phone. So you can complete everything. You also have an app available, so it can be done directly through your phone via the app. Each user don't have to do that, don't have to complete the modules only on their computer. If they want to complete the modules on their phone, on their tablets, anytime they can do. So there is an app available, and that will be the same structure, either it's on mobile or tablet. Going back to the module, so that's the inside of the module. So that's the first section of the module, is a module introduction. Again, a video of myself explaining what the module is about, explaining how it works, a little introduction that is included in each module. You will have those modules, I think is there. Yes, you will have also a transition video, again, included halfway through the module, explaining a little bit what has been completed, what is important to keep in mind for your user to have kind of a summary written. You'll have the module summary as well written down as a module page, but also have it as a video version. It will explain the user what is important to remember, what to focus on moving forward, what to keep in mind, etc., etc. And of course, some indication and reminders on how to use and complete the module. You'll have the same at the end. You'll have the second summary where you have, no, I think is at the end here. Yes, you'll have a summary video again of myself at the end, concluding the module, what is important to keep in mind, and mostly what is important to do moving forward. So you can see, the best way to do it for each user is, of course, to start from one and go to the end. But if you want to go back to a previous part, if your users wants to do that, he or she can definitely do so. Your users can just navigate by clicking the arrows if they want here, previous and next, or if they want to go back to a specific part, they can do so by using the module menu that is on the left. That is the module introduction, explaining what it is about. You'll have a course overview as well, explaining what each part cover. You'll have some FAQ included on top of the user guidelines, so it's very easy for them to find out information they need. It will explain what the two first parts of the module help them achieve. You will have the same transition page after the two first parts to explain what the two last parts will help them achieve. So again, very well structured to really bring that continuity into the module. Now, if we go to the part 1, which is that one here, of the module, this is how it looks like. Let me refresh it so you see a little bit of the, let me remove that. You see a little bit of the animations included. So this is how it looks like. So you have all the content there. You can take, the user can highlight something specific, highlight it in different colors based on what they want to highlight. They can take notes on things directly into the modules on top of their user notebook. They can take notes directly into the module, and it will be saved automatically every time they come back there. So you can take notes outside of the module and inside of the module. You will have a video included, 1 to 2 videos including into each parts of each module. You have 4 parts within each module. You have 1 to 2 activities included into each part of each module. And again, it's 4 parts within each module that it has to be completed by the user before they move forward to the next part. I can show you some other pages. So this is another one. This is part 2 of the module number 3. Again, you have a lot of information. You can highlight things. You can take notes. You'll have the video, not only videos of myself, but also videos of other and brilliant speakers. Again, sometimes you have up to 2 activities to complete before moving to the next part. I've included another one, part of another module is part 3 of another module on blaming culture. Again, you can see sometimes the structure is different. Here it has a different approach in terms of the structure of that part. You can see again, very briefly, the animations included into the module, as you can see. Again, take notes, highlight things, different videos. Again, here is the videos of myself that's been included there. You have, again, activities that needs to be completed before moving forward. So activities, notes, specific videos, impactful content that is not about tick box, not about being generic, but really going in depth. But it doesn't stop there. You'll have before within each module, you will have two assessments. Each user will have to complete two assessments at the end of the two first part, at the end of the two last part. They will have to reach a certain completion rate in order to move forward and complete the module and have their certificate at the end. So they will have a summary of the two first parts and a summary of the two last parts before they go to the module assessment, and they will be able to practice some of the main points and some of the main questions related to what they've completed before completing the assessment, as you can see here. This is the first, so this is one of the two assessments included into the module. So let's say I'm just completing it very like this out of the blue. I'm just giving random answers so you can see how it works once you submit. So once you submit, you will have the number of correct answers. You can have a feedback report. And on that feedback report, it will tell you the answers that were right or wrong. So the first module, the first assessment, because it's not the final assessment, it will give you the correct answer. But the second assessment will not give you the correct answer. It will just tell you if it's right or wrong. And then you will have to find out, the users will have to find out the answers by themselves, because the first assessment is more like a practice assessment. The users still need to reach a minimum of 80% of completion rate of correct answers, but they will be helped. And the good thing is that for both assessments, they can ask up to 3 times per question questions to an AI chatbot that will answer accordingly based on what they answer. So if they want to know more about why they got the answer right or why they got the answer wrong, why do they fail there, why didn't they understand properly, they can ask directly the AI chatbot, and the AI chatbot will answer accordingly based on the content included. So the AI chatbot is created, it's replaying based on the content included, not just out of the blue. And of course, if they didn't reach the proper completion rate, they can go back to the previous part on the menu and recomplete the assessment until they reach the correct completion rate and the correct ratio of right answers. Doesn't stop there. The very important part is that, again, twice per module, at the end of the two first part and at the end of the two last parts, the users have to complete their own individual takeaways on things they would like to stop, start, and continue doing. It's mandatory. It's 5 things per stop, per start, and per continue that they will have to write down and then download. So it's going to be their own takeaways, not only the main module takeaways, not only about those activities that they will be doing, not only about their assessments that they will have to complete, not only about the questions they will have to ask the AI chatbot based on the answers they didn't get right. They will have after that to write down their own takeaways on things they would like to stop, start, and continue. And it is twice per modules. Twice per module times the amount of modules. But it doesn't stop there. They will also have module takeaways on top of their own takeaways, a summary of the main points included into the module. So the module, they can go back to it whenever they want. They can take notes, they can highlight, they'll have the activities, they'll have the assessment to complete, they'll have to write down their own takeaways, they'll have separate takeaways included. And it doesn't stop there. They will have one of the most important part, post-training activities to do post-completion. That is well associated to the post-training takeaways that they have to write down twice per module, like I said. They will have to complete this post-completion that is downloadable at the end once they've completed the module, and they will have to do those activities accordingly. Finally, once they've completed the module, they can just write their name here and they will get their certificate. They'll just have to write down certificate. And this one I've already completed it just to show you. It's the obviously this is not like the a user page. This is just how to say the from my end. It's not a proper account, so I've completed the module before, so you could see it already. But that would be exactly like this, by the way, once they completed the module. So again, only once they complete all the parts of the module, only once they've completed the two assessments and they've reached a minimum of 80% of correct answers, will they be able to complete the module and have that confirmation that they pass. And the certificate can be downloaded accordingly with the course title. Here it is. With the course title, with their name, with the date of completion, with the score of completion, the certificate ID, the date, etc., etc. Proper user, again, like I said, I'm doing this directly from the at the main admin account, which is mine, my account. So this is again a very small. Let me remove my screen. This is again a very small tip of the iceberg that I've showed you there. Just one module out of the many modules included, and just small little parts. But I mostly wanted to show the main functionalities, the main features, and mostly the structure of the course. Because an impactful course, it's not only about the content. Yes, the content has been designed to be as impactful as it can, as impactful as in person, and making sure that it's not about being generic or tick box, but again, it's about that personalization, that engagement, those activities, and again, the things that will naturally get applied to themselves as users. This is what matters. And that long term impact will be coming from that structure. That's it for the platform demonstration. Beyond Satisfaction Academy and Training has been delivering training for years, 45 five-star reviews, and over thousands of attendees' testimonials from the content, the courses, and the modules delivered throughout all those years. Yes, AI has been used to build the platform, but as an additional tool to make it more engaging, more personalized. So it's not an AI made platform, it's a peers made platform. If you'd like to know more about Beyond Satisfaction Academy, you can book a free discovery call with me. You can also have a 10 days free platform trial. So it's not one or the other. You can book both, of course. You can book a free discovery call to know more about the platform and discuss your 10 days free platform trial. To book any of them or just to reach out, you can do so by reaching out to me directly on LinkedIn, by messaging me directly on LinkedIn. You can do so also on my inquiry form on my website that is accessible on top of my LinkedIn profile. You also have that inquiry form directly on the featured section of my profile. So hope you enjoy the replay. And like I said, feel free to reach out if you have any questions or if you'd like to discuss the platform further. Thanks again for listening to a Frenchman speaking for, I thought it was already 45 minutes, but I've been able to do it in 30 minutes. So thank you again for listening to me. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.